George Lyon, Liberal Democrat MEP for Scotland. You've been meeting the European Commissioner on sheep identification. What actually did he have to say?
Well, this meeting with Commissioner Daly was a follow-up to the meeting we had with him 2 weeks ago, where shortly after that he announced some extra flexibility on the implementation of sheep EID, where he allowed breeding sheep on farm to be left out of the requirement to electronically tag them for another 2 years, which has been very, very much welcomed by the industry. Today I put it to him that the NFU had a proposal that would allow that situation to continue beyond the date that he set, where the breeding sheep would not need to be tagged electronically until the moment they left the farm to be sold. That would still give you absolute guarantees of traceability, but it would make the practical difficulties of implementing EID much easier for Scottish farmers. His answer to that request was, yes, I want to look at it. I want to do anything I possibly can to make the implementation simpler, and therefore I am willing to look constructively at it, and I hope we can get a positive response. I've already spoken to the NFU and they've agreed that we will jointly submit a proposal to the Commissioner's officials, and I hope we can make some progress on this very, very difficult issue.
And does that mean that you'll actually be going with the NFU to actually see the Commissioner?
That's what I've agreed with the Commissioner, that we would bring the NFU along with the formal proposal, talk to his officials, and then follow up with a personal meeting with John Daly himself, where we'll discuss whether he can actually agree to the further flexibility that they're looking for. And that's what all of Scottish farmers, sheep farmers, are looking for. There's a huge concern there in industry about how to practically implement this, and of course they've got the threat of huge fines hanging over them. Many have been fined already up to £7,000 for breaking the sheep EID regulations. So we need simplicity, we need proportionality, and we need flexibility, and that proposal that the NFU have got, I believe, can go a long way to meeting that.
I mean, that was going to be my next question, really. How far to meeting farmers' concerns does this proposal from the NFU go?
Well, it's another step, but at the end of the day, what we need eventually is a complete review of the whole implementation of the EID regulation. Commissioner Daly did not refused that request when we met him 2 weeks ago. He said he was open to a review taking place, but until we get to a proper review, we need some more flexibility in the interim period, and I hope that this proposal by the NFU might well help and certainly gives a step further to making this scheme actually a practical scheme that could work on the ground and give excellent traceability while being still practical to implement and not risk farmers with huge fines for non-compliance.
I mean, how many sheep, though, would farmers still have to electronically tag in this way under the NFU scheme?
Well, under the NFU scheme, what of course would happen was that you would just have an ordinary batch tag with the farm's identification on the sheep for the lifetime on which they were breeding. So it might be 5-6 years. And it's only when they come to the end of that lifetime, when they're about to be sold for slaughter or to another farmer for use for breeding, only then would they require the double tag and the EID tag to be put in. That would make a huge difference in terms of the practical application on the ground, and I think it would simplify the scheme.
And how convinced are you that their plan is convincing enough to get the Commissioner to agree?
Well, I think we all want to see it simpler to implement while still giving absolute traceability for disease protection and disease control and health reasons. I think this scheme has some merit. We need to now pursue the Commissioner and make sure that we can actually get them to agree.